That's recording now. And this is recording now. Is it, though? Is it? It is. Okay. I think we're ready. Are you ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right. Here goes, everybody. Enjoy this, because it's coming. With or without you, right now. In 3, 2, 1.
Down deep in our human nature, all of us are provided with a so-called inner self.
Okay.
Americans can be very useful. This is the Morning Stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Morning Stream, to Said to Stream. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2019. Month's almost over. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbett. Good morning.
That's right. That's right, Scott.
Are you
This
sad?
is Brian Ibbett.
Are you sad to see August eke away like this and just drip off the edge of the calendar and be gone?
Only because I like summer a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, I like fall too, but I'm not. I'm not a big winter guy, and it's funny because I live in a state that is so winter, right?
Same.
I mean, Colorado is like all about the skiing and all about the snowboarding and the all the winter sports out here. And it's like, I prefer the cycling and the going out, just walking outside, walking the dog outside with a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. This is my. I live in the same kind of place. It's all about snow. It's all about We claim to have the greatest snow on Earth. I don't know why we claim that, but we claim that. That's on our license plates. It says, Utah, the greatest snow on Earth, for some reason.
Oh, really? Is that what it says now?
Yes. Well, it used to. If it doesn't now, it used to. I don't know what the new one is.
I remember Ski Utah with an exclamation point,
Right.
if I remember correctly.
That was a thing for a while, yep. Then there was our crickets have no chance against those seagulls. That's the other one.
They can't stop all of us. Utah.
Yeah, Utah. They can never get all of us. One of us will survive and spread further. I can't remember. Right now, I don't know what it is. In fact, I think maybe it may be a more summary one and show like the big arch, the delicate arch thing down in down in Moab or wherever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. In Zion or Arches or
wherever the hell it is.
Yeah.
One of our many beautiful
Bryce Canyon.
national parks.
I don't know.
That's right. Goblin Valley's the best. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but man.
That's not a real play. That's a starting zone, right?
Sounds like it, but it's
That's a World of Warcraft classic starting zone.
It looks more like a planet that you land on in No Man's Sky. It's this crazy piles of stones and weird wind-caused erosion to the cliffs and valleys and stuff. It's just crazy.
Really?
Yeah. You got to see that. That's pretty
You guys
neat.
have a lot of really cool photograph backgrounds or landscape, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically places that if you didn't know you were in Utah, you wouldn't know where you were because they don't look like the typical Utah.
Like what you have in your head, like
Right, exactly.
the
Salt
valley
Flats
and the
is a great
mountains.
example of that. It's like, okay, you see a photo of that and you're thinking, wow, that's some weird exotic place. I don't know where that is. Oh, that's in Utah? Wow, okay, bizarre.
Yeah, it happens. Goblin Valley is very similar, but it's like I was watching, or I went to Netflix yesterday, and they start, they'll play like a top of the fold trailer for whatever hot new thing. And the new thing is this new Dave Chappelle special called Sticks and Stones. And immediately I recognize it because it's Dave Chappelle in sunglasses, a tight gray shirt and jeans, walking ominously through the salt flats. And not just the salt flats, but like literally right where we were, like right where we stood. I'm pretty sure I have stepped where his feet have tread.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's weird. It's like when you buy a car and you start noticing everybody else has your car. It's like I'm noticing the salt flats and everything now. It's really weird.
Everything that's using salt flats.
Yeah. Which seems to be more than you'd think. All right. You remember some time ago, I'm going to play it to just remind people. You received a phone call, a voicemail.
Yes.
And it was all the rage here on the show for a while, if I can freaking find it. It was Burdum. There we go.
A lot of people are going to get a bingo square right now.
Yeah. this was the essence of the call. I'm just going to play it real quick.
Hey, Bert, give me a call when you get up there. Have a good morning. God bless. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right, so we had some good fun with that person.
Hi, Bert.
Play that a lot, kind of just a weird call, made no sense. I think you got a follow-up call at some point. Am I right about that?
Probably. And I think we even tried calling her, and
right.
the calls had stopped before that, and we were trying to maybe get a little bit more of something going, and nothing since then.
That's right.
Like, hi, Bert. We called her, and I think we gave her the hi, Bertum.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right. I'm gonna see if I can tell you when this happened. This would have been.
Hi, Bertum. That might have been.
Looks like so March of 2014 is when we got that.
Wow. Okay.
I can't believe I have dates on that. All right. So I was always a little bit sad because no one ever calls me and leaves a psycho message like that, or weird, wrong person thing. It just doesn't happen to me. I just don't get those kind of voicemails. Mostly what I get now is, we have found an issue with your social security number. Please
call this number or action will be taken against you, police-wise.
And they have a robot voice to it. Oh, yes. Don't let me forget to talk about voices in a second, because I have a question for you, but this is not related.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, in fact, if I look at my voicemail, I'll just see what the most recent one is. Oh, yeah. See if I... Here, let me play this on speaker.
Is to inform you that we just suspend your social security number because we found some suspicious activity. So if you want to know about this case, just press 1. Thank you.
I like that it's typed out, so that this text to speech thing, and they type out, so if you want to hear about, if you want to know about why we've done it, so
if you're kind of curious why we've suspended your social security number. It's so dumb.
So
that's mostly what I get now. But I got this call and I had to share it. Whoop. That was weird.
Whoa.
I don't know what that was. Oh, weird.
Maybe the flash just went by. There he goes again. It's Gary Allen.
Where's my Coke? Anyway, so here's what I'm going to play. This is a weird call about Lucy and paint, I think. It's 8 seconds. Okay. You can help me decipher it. Here you go.
I'm calling for fresh paint for one stream. It's Lucy from Oklahoma. Okay, thank you.
What is that?
Wow, okay. I hear Oklahoma is the only word that I got out of that.
I heard Lucy and thanks and Oklahoma. The rest of it, I'm gonna try it again. In the chat room, you see guys, put on your interpretation hats. I'm playing it one more time. Here you go.
I'm calling for fresh paint.
I'm gonna pause there. I call
I'm calling for fresh paint.
For I call for fresh paint. It's a real demand. Okay. Then she says,
I'm calling about painting. Can you start that over again?
Let's start it over again. Here you go.
Okay.
I'm calling for fresh paint.
It sounds like I call about paints.
Yeah, I call for fresh paint.
All right, I'll play more.
For one stream. It's Lucy from Oklahoma. Okay, thank you.
Lucy from Oklahoma. And she didn't leave a number, by the way.
Lucy from Oklahoma. Oh, frog pants. You think frog pants?
Oh, okay. Let me try it again.
Hold on, yeah.
Now we're maybe getting somewhere. Hold on.
I'm calling for frog paint.
Oh.
I'm calling for frog paints. All right, okay.
What if it's someone who listens to this show and
I think it is now. Now that I'm thinking, I'm liking the whole frog pants theory that she's saying frog paints.
Okay, now there's something about the morning stream in there. Someone's saying, so let's try it one more time.
I'm calling for frog paint for one stream.
Morning stream.
Morning stream.
Morning stream.
Yes.
She really has an accent.
All right, now people are saying it might be Gidget.
Is that Gidget? She says no idea.
Stop asking me. Nope, she says stop asking me. I have no idea. Haha, she's not Aussie. Okay, so
I've got the number on here too says it's from the States. So unless she could spoof that, I guess she could. But everyone thinks it's Gidget. Hey, by the way, Gidget will be on the show Thursday with another quiz. Everybody.
That's right.
We got a name for it. You want to know what the name for it is?
Ooh, what's it called?
It's called where'd it go now? Oh man, did I lose it? No, I may have lost it. Hold on. Oh, here it is.
Trivial things.
There you go. We're calling it trivial things.
Trivial things. I like
Trivial
it. I like
things.
Yeah, and she'll come on and she'll do her southern Tennessee accent and fool us all with her phone call there. Yeah, I don't know what that is or what the deal is.
Now that we know Frog Paints and Mornstrom, Lucy from Oklahoma, let's see if we can suss out the rest of it.
All right, here is the full file one more time with all the knowledge we have now. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm calling for Frog Paints for Mornstrom. It's Lucy from Oklahoma. Okay, thank you.
She sounds legit, like she's not
Yeah, she does.
teasing us.
But she's not giving us, like, basically, is she wanting a call back? Is she?
I don't know.
It's just she's like, I'm calling for Frog Pants. The morning stream. This is Lucy from Oklahoma. Thank you. Bye bye.
It's entirely
like.
Here's the thing. It's entirely possible that she's somebody while we're doing live calls for Battle Royale. She could be one of the people calling live, and then they get voicemail because they don't get through because someone else got through, or because we're between calls or whatever.
Right. So this was on Skype.
Yeah, it was, right? Or no, on my Google voice line is where it voicemailed.
Okay.
It. Yeah.
Well, but that's not what you use for.
No,
that is what you use for Call Now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
For all that stuff.
I dumped my old Skype number ages ago because it was a ripoff. It was $18 a month.
Okay.
It sucked. Those guys can bite me.
Well, Lucy, I hope if you're hearing us now, you've enjoyed us performing some CSI on your voice message there and figuring it out. I think a lot of it is bad phone connection.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit might be your accent,
Yeah.
but it's lovely and it's cute.
Sure.
And
It's thick as a brick, that accent. Rainbow Bright says she's called before. I don't remember.
thick as Oklahoma barbecue sauce is that accent right there.
Rainbow Bright says we had her on before and that I teased her about her accent. I don't think that's true. Did I? I don't remember
really?
that. Do I owe any merch to Lucy in Oklahoma? No.
We will after this.
Yeah. She seems nice. I'd love to talk to her. Oh, it played again, not on purpose. Sorry, that wasn't me. There's still
still claiming it's Gidget.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
The Gidget controversy conspiracy continues in the chat. Also want to do, I recommended this last week, so this isn't like a second recommendal necessarily, but I do want to double down and tell people that I finished Mindhunter Season 2, and I love that show. I think it's great. I think it might be the best thing on Netflix right now. It has a way of making even mundane stuff seem tense and exciting. It's kind of hard to explain, but anybody who's seen it will know what I'm talking about. Like, the show doesn't even end, really. You know, most shows end with big cliffhanger-y kind of moments or whatever. It's like, gotta see
or
next
if they,
season.
They try to wrap up a season mystery or something like that. But
right. So this has, I mean, they certainly wrap up a case, which turned out to be, I didn't realize it, but it was an actual case about these child murders in Atlanta in the 70s. 23 of the killings were never solved. 2 of which were dude was put in prison for. But anyway,
oh wow,
it's worth watching just for that whole story thread. But the very end of it, you would expect, I don't know, more cliffhanger-y stuff, and this show's just very confident in itself, and it doesn't feel like it needs to, and it can just sort of be, I don't know, there's a tinge of realism to it. It's a very dramatic show, but they're not trying to be overly dramatic or pull your strings at the right times or any of that stuff. It's just sort of there, and it works, and it's great. I freaking really love it. Sidian says, famously known as the Atlanta child murders. I had never heard of those before, I guess. I count myself as I know enough true crime stuff. I could tell you about Manson. I could tell you what I know about, Bundy or whatever.
John Wayne Gacy.
Sure. Yeah. I know all those names and all those things. But I had never heard of that one. So I could never tell on the show, is this an actual case? Did they really work on it? What was the deal? And then when this is all over with, I went and all looked it up. And sure enough, man, that thing was gnarly.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Anyway, can't recommend it enough. You should watch it.
Funny you finished season 2 of Mindhunter last night, because last night I finished season 1 of The Sinner. And if you remember correctly, if you remember from last week's recommendals, I had watched season 2 before season 1, and I figured out why. It has nothing to do. I mean, it has everything to do. Let me rephrase this. Everything to do with Netflix and the way they've got it in the in the system, because for The Sinner, it doesn't say season 1, 8 episodes, season 2, 8 episodes. It's a focus on the character name that he's dealing with. So there's Cora, and then season 2 is, shoot, can't remember the name under season 2, but it just lists it by the name and not season 1, season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that totally messed me up. But the good news is you can watch season 2 before season 1 and not be at all lost, because Bill Pullman's character is taken from the city he's in season 1 to this other city or this other town to do this case, and there's no strings that lead back to the story.
Well, then you absolutely picked the right show to make that goof on. It sounds
to do that happen. Exactly.
Yeah.
But we watched season 1 last night, and it's also excellent. That one, the first season does focus on Jessica Biel's character, she's also executive producer, and man, there is some whacked out stuff that goes on in both seasons of that show. But we thought it was excellent.
All right. And I'm going to be able to enjoy Bill Pullman and not think of him as dude what was in Spaceballs and
100%. Like
Okay.
it is such a different role for Bill Pullman that you're almost struggling to remember what he was like in Independence Day and Spaceballs and things like that.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
It is fantastic.
Because that's been hard for me when I've seen him in other roles. Although I do like his kind of bearded, grizzly, older self. I think that stuff's kind of.
Oh yeah,
it's a good look.
Yeah, but his delivery, there's some weird delivery that he does in this show where he'll ask a question, or he'll answer a question, and he'll put pauses in weird places. Are you new to this town? I've been here before.
Working on your Bill Pullman too. I like it. This is good.
Yeah, well, that's barely like a try to do an impersonation. More just trying to impersonate the way he delivers his lines.
Sure. That sounds great.
Anyway, it's
Sinner.
really, really good. He's fantastic in this, and
it's Sinner, not The Sinner, right?
No, it's The Sinner.
It is The Sinner. Okay.
The Sinner.
All right.
You'll find it right there on Netflix. 8 episodes in season 1, 8 episodes in season 2. Originally aired on USA. So you're not going to get no nudity.
Yeah, they push the limits a little, don't they?
They do actually. I think you kind of get you definitely get buttocks.
Yeah,
Scott. Definitely buttocks.
I was going to say, Mr. Robot has its moments of stuff, and that's a USA joint as well. All right, well, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying that we need to watch The Dark, and I want to because it sounds cool the way everyone describes it to me, but it's like Norwegian with like English subtitles, and I just haven't been able to pull the trigger. I don't know why. Or is it German? It's German, sorry. I want to see it. Everything described to me sounds amazing. There's something about European languages that aren't English with subtitles that are hard for me, whereas I don't struggle with that with Asian languages. Is that weird?
Oh, really? Yeah.
That's probably weird.
No,
That's a me thing.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. There's something about the harshness of the German language. Or if I hear Swedish or freaking any kind of like Danish, whatever, I just hear a lot of borka. It's hard for me. I just can't focus. Right?
You can't. Yeah, right. I'm trying to read here. You guys keep borking.
Oh, they say it's overdubbed. Wait, if it's overdubbed, I might give that a shot. That might work.
Oh, okay. Is this the only Swedish film or television property that does not feature Peter Stormare? Is that it? Like, is this the only one?
Yeah, and that guy from what's he from? The guy from Chernobyl.
Mads Mikkelsen.
No. Who's the guy? He's in the MCU? I can't think of his name. He was the doctor in the beginning that the Tesseract touched him.
Oh, yes, right in Thor. Yes.
Jim Bob.
Is it Skarsgård?
No. Oh, maybe. Stellan Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård, yes.
Yeah,
right.
that guy. He's supposed to be in all these.
He's in everything.
Your guy that you mentioned. All the Skarsgårds. They need to be in there.
Oh, everybody's reminding us it's German, not Swedish. German.
Yeah,
German.
It is German. Yeah.
German.
Well, he's Swedish though. That guy, isn't he?
Yes, and so is Peter Stormare.
Yeah, and Peter Stormare or Stormare, however you say it. He's your friend. He put your friend back there in the chipper. Then he's amazing. We love him.
That's right. And former, I haven't talked to him in a while, but Andreas from Sweden. You remember, big supporter of the show, friend of the show.
Yeah.
the only listener I've gone to Vegas with, just kind of on a whim, is like, you want to go to Vegas? Let's go to Vegas. And he and I met in Vegas and hung out there for a weekend, and it was a blast. We had such a great time. His mom knows Peter Stormara's mom, and he corrected us on the pronunciation of his name, Peter Stormara.
So it is Stormara then.
It's Stormara, but it's probably one of those things like Yilin Hall, where they've become accustomed to the Americanization of their name, and so it's like, no, just say Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, man, that reminds me how good Maggie was in that new Spider-Man movie. She was really something. Anyway, there you go. Some recommendations for you there on a Tuesday. You don't normally get that, but I guess we already recommended The Sinner and Mindhunter.
Yes, these are follow-up recommendals.
Yeah, we've polished them off, and we feel pretty good about them now.
I've already figured out. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch something with the intent that I'm going to be able to either recommendal it or not recommendal it tomorrow.
Oh.
So this afternoon I'm going to try and watch something that I've been wanting to watch, and something that I did recently triggered me wanting to watch this.
Oh, now can I guess? Can I try to guess?
Please do. Yeah, right. Guess. You won't be able to guess, but
something you did triggered it.
Something I did recently.
You
I went to or attended or experienced.
You threw a frozen turkey off the overpass into oncoming traffic. No?
Dang it. And now what's the movie now? What's the movie that I'm going to watch, Scott, that ties into that so closely?
The Crying Game. I have no idea.
Yes. Right.
No idea.
It's so accurate, 100%.
Wait, it's a movie then, not a TV thing. Okay.
It is a movie.
All right. Yes. I give up. I have no idea.
Well, you'll find out tomorrow.
Good. I can't wait. There's a Tamara. Because we've been seeing.
Tamara.
Okay.
Tamara. We're going to watch it. Find out Tamara.
All right. Hey, you guys, look at this. An actual full slate of news, and it begins now.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive, sensational summary of world and local events.
It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by
Today at Noon Mountain. Doesn't it sound like Escape from Noon Mountain? Today at Noon Mountain, the Instance does a 3-hour live stream of WoW Classic and a full show after that. Be there at twitch.tv/frogpants.
There you go. Yep, that'll be noon, so about an hour or so after the show is finished here. Garrett and I and possibly others will be running new characters, and I'm told we're going to be doing Night Elves. Which I haven't done in a very long time. So we're going to do Night Elf characters. We're going to do that for 3 hours, and then we'll do an instance after that, just as Brian explained. It should be a fun day.
Nice.
If you're into
Tristan's been loving playing WoW Classic. I pop up there, I see what he's doing, I say, yep, not for me, although Tetsemi did reserve.
Yeah, he
much
kept
like
more.
He did for GURP.
He did. He kept your name. In fact, he pinged me and says, all right, well, now that I've transferred GURP and Fleener, now we just got to get Brian to get Morgrom in there. And I'm like, uh-oh.
So basically, here's the deal. I'm going to log in, going to get Morgrom, going to go into my starting zone. I'm going to do maybe 2 quests. I'm going to say, hey, there's Classic. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know. I may play 3 hours and then be done.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, you might enjoy it a lot. I just remember, I mean, it's not even a matter of remembering, and I talked about this on the show yesterday. I barely have time to play WoW new flavor. What do you call it? Current version?
Right.
Non-classic.
Right.
Edition.
Unclassic.
Unclassic.
Yeah, this is the Criterion edition or something like that. Yeah. But here's the thing: like you, I'm with you. Like the time is a factor for sure, and it's just different for me now than it was in 2004 for whatever reason. I'm just busier.
Yeah.
But also, I did all this already. You know, like
right.
I've built this character. I built my character from Zip, from vanilla, from alpha, really, because I played even that far back, and I've been there the whole time. And so the idea of going back and saying, let's do that again, I don't have the same kind of nostalgia that somebody would say that was like 15 or 14 years old, and this was the greatest thing they'd ever seen, and then maybe they fell away from it for a long time. So now this is like the great return to their childhood. I totally respect that. Totally get it. That's how I am with old Mario games, and I get it. So I don't want to poo-poo on. I don't want to yuck their yum, but I'm not sure this is my yum or not. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's we started with Burning Crusade and never looked back.
Yeah,
that was the first I ever played of.
It's a good
WoW
idea.
was Burning Crusade.
Never look back.
By the way, Zalex in the chat room says, "Here's how Swedish people say Peter Stormare." There's a link to an Og Vorbis file that you can play.
Okay. Let's see if I can play this. Can I play this directly? I probably can. All right, let's give that a shot. I think it'll play in the browser.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Peter Stormare.
Ugh, we're doing it really wrong.
Peter Stormare.
Wait, it's right.
Peter Stormare.
No, I don't like it. It makes me feel bad. I'm gonna download that, and then we'll have that for later. I don't know why. I just like stupid sound files.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you.
By the way, Og Vorbis is Kit Harington's new character in the Eternals. I'm really, really excited about that.
Kit Harington. That's such an interesting casting there.
Well, plus because you've got Madden.
John.
You got Jon Snow, and you've got
Richard
Robb Stark.
Richard Madden. Really? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh,
that's right, Mum.
I loved him in that.
Both of them in Eternals. It's going to be great.
All right, I'm in.
And a character named Cersei, who is not Cersei.
Yeah, I noticed she's in that. She's in that Mandalorian business. Cersei is.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
The what's her face? Lena Headey.
Lena Headey. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're interested in her nipples, she's naked in.
If you're interested in her nipples,
she was naked. She was semi-naked in that 300 movie. My memory of that is strong for some reason. Anyway, hey, look at this. Is that not her in The Mandalorian? It looks like her. Is that not her? Okay.
There's a completely different woman.
All right. For a hot second, it looked like her, and I didn't go back and look. So, anyway, that nipple thing stands, though.
Yes.
All right, NASA. You know NASA? They're like the space people. You familiar with them?
Yes. Yeah? Yes, I'm interested in their nipples.
Well, good, because they're said to be investigating the first allegation of a crime in space. This is awesome.
Right. Oh, this is great. I'm so glad we're talking about this.
I love this. So NASA's reportedly investigating a claim that an astronaut accessed the bank account of her estranged spouse from the International Space Station in what may be the first allegation of a crime committed in space. Anne McClain acknowledges accessing the account from ISS, but denies any wrongdoing, according to the New York Times. Her estranged spouse, Summer Warden, reportedly filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. Miss McClain has since returned to Earth. Sounds crazy out of context. Like if
it totally does. Yeah.
If you read this, in the 50s, it'd sound like total science fiction.
We'll go up to the space station. We'll have a few laughs. We'll access your bank account.
The astronaut told the New York Times through a lawyer she was merely making sure the family's finances were in order and there was enough money to pay bills and care for Mrs. Warden's son, who they had been raising together prior to the split. She strenuously denies she did anything improper, says her lawyer, Rusty Hardin. Rusty Hardin.
Rusty Hardin.
I kind of like that name, but it also makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you've been injured in an accident, call Rusty Hardin.
Rusty Hardin.
He'll get you off.
Don't go look at that. Don't look up Rusty Hardin on what's it called? What's the dictionary?
Urban Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary. Don't look it up. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling. I have a feeling. Anyway, Miss McCain and Miss Warden, who were in the Air Force together, they worked in intelligence. They were married in 2014. Miss Warden filed for divorce in 2018. Investigations from the NASA Office of Inspector General have contacted both over the allegation. The New York Times has reported also Miss McClain graduated from the prestigious West Point Military Academy and flew more than 800 combat hours over Iraq as an Army pilot. She went on to qualify as a test pilot and was chosen to fly for NASA in 2013. But she may have broken the law in space!
There was an interview with her on the Today Show yesterday morning, or they were talking about it, and she basically said, no, I was just making sure that I had some auto pay stuff or something like that I was just making sure wasn't going to come out of that account from when we were together.
Right.
There's easy ways to prove that.
Sure. I don't think that's going to be hard to prove if that's the case at all.
Yeah.
But it's pretty nutty because we have no record of this yet. Nobody's done. I mean, here's my guess. In all the years we've had people up in orbit in some way or another, or on the moon, or wherever we've been, somebody has to have done something that would be considered maybe not illegal, but distasteful or something, right?
Right.
Like somebody was making
Hey, let me make a quick copy of this Bruce Springsteen album for you.
Yeah, like that, like simple piracy.
Let me duplicate this CD. Can I share this file with you?
Yeah, the first case of space piracy. I love that idea.
Let me squirt you a copy of Come and Get Your Love from my Zune.
Oh, squirting. I forgot they did that.
Yeah, for Zune squirts.
Oh, that was so stupid.
Such a bad idea. Such a bad term.
Zune squirt. If you had the brown one, it was even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the brown one, right?
Hershey Brown. I do have the Hershey Brown one, yeah.
And you're going to put that, did you put it under glass yet, or what was it?
Not yet, going to. Got it set up behind me here.
All right. Do you think anybody ever, like, made one of those, like, orange juice balls in space, you know, because you can blow your liquid out and it makes it, like, into a ball and floats? Like a little orange juice sphere. Do you think anybody ever did anything mean with that? Like, I don't know, blew a ball of orange juice and then just, like, made it float over and hit
pushed
Jerry
it up
in the
against
head.
Buzz Aldrin's face or something. Like,
I wouldn't do that because Buzz Aldrin's known to just knock you out if you do something bad.
like basically, like while somebody's sleeping, they'll like float some food above so that when they wake up and sit upright, they basically get a face full of tang.
You have to be really careful though, because if you want it to hover, but the way space works, any movement is perpetual. So if you bump it or if you bump your liquid, whatever, and it starts to float, it has the tendency to go off somewhere, and you're not going to have it there when you want him to sit up and like smack his face into it.
I'm guessing that's never happened, but I still have to believe that somewhere somebody's had sex in space and they didn't tell NASA.
Right. Oh yeah, they had to, right? It wasn't part of a test or something.
Totally right. Not like part of an experiment or something. I'm thinking, hey, we got nothing else to do. You got our work that we got to do in a couple hours.
Yeah, John Glenn took his shirt off. He's all muscly underneath. Oh, I'm so hot in this tiny space capsule. And freaking Buzz Aldrin's like, oh yeah, me too. And before you know it, they do the dirty.
Right, sure.
Anyway, good luck to them. Hopefully that all works out.
Yeah.
Seems like a dumb crime if it is one, but whatever. All right. Hey, look at this. This is pretty great. If you wonder where your cocaine went, well, I might know. Cocaine worth about $1 million was hidden in bananas at the Washington Safeway stores. We don't see that very often, they say.
So look for the banana that looks like it's been peeled and then duct taped back together with a weird bulge in the middle.
Yep. If you got a little powder coming out of your banana, I got some news for you. I mean, just at a Safeway, that's crazy. Police in Washington State are investigating after a huge cocaine shipment was found at 3 Safeway stores, a haul reportedly worth more than $1 million, as I mentioned before. Drugs were stuffed inside boxes of bananas at stores in the cities of Woodinville, Bellingham, and Federal Way. Chat room.
I know Bellingham.
Oh, have you been there? What's up with that place?
Bellingham.
Yeah? You like it?
It is Bellingham where you have to take a ferry from across the sound to get to it? I feel like it is.
I don't know.
Bellingham, Washington.
I hear that's
I could be wrong about that, but
that Ferry Island place. I know someone from that area, but I don't know the name of the town. That always seemed.
Bramerton might be what I'm thinking of.
Oh, is it Bramerton? I think you might be right.
Bramerton. Yeah.
I really like just even the concept of I have to take a ferry to go anywhere. Is that cool? Is that weird that I like that? I don't know why I like that.
No, I'd like that too, right? Because I just have to take a boat across a big body of water to get to your work or to this little village. Oh,
yeah,
so fun.
I'd do that.
Yeah.
Drugs were stuffed inside these boxes. The ones that had them were marked CK. Don't know what that means. Cocaine killers. I don't know.
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine. These are all supposed to go to Louis C.K. That's the deal. Let's see. Right. Police said 23 kilos. That's space measurement. Whoops. Gosh dang it. I keep hitting my keyboard's space button with my elbow. Of cocaine have been recovered in Bellingham. 22 kilos recorded in the Woodinville store. The amount discovered in Federal Way was not immediately clear. Authorities say Woodinville stash alone was worth more than $550,000. That's huge. We don't see that very often, says Kings County Sheriff Officer Ryan Abbott. He called King 5, a local news channel. Hate that name.
Coming up tonight on King 5, is there cocaine in your bananas? We'll find out. News at 11.
Oh, I hate stories like that. I hate when they do that because they can just say, coming up on the news later, a bunch of cocaine was found at some stores. We'll give you the details. Instead, they go,
right. Exactly.
Are your bananas laced with cocaine? Find out in an hour. Shut up.
4 things in your living room are trying to kill you right now. Find out what they are at 10 p.m.
Right. Instead of just saying gas leaks killed a family of whatever.
Exactly.
I don't know why they have to do that. Anyway, let's see. Investigators confirm workers. Oh, they don't know how it got there.
We have some of these children. Find out if they're yours at 10 p.m.
Oh, I love that idea. Kidnap kids and then hold them ransom just for the news. That's a great idea.
That was right. Film video at 11.
Here's my favorite line. The cocaine appeared to have been split into dozens of separate packages and wrapped in plastic.
Wow.
Now you might say to yourself, Scott, do you have that file?
Wrapped in plastic.
Of course I have it. What is that sound? Hold on. Do you hear that?
I hear nothing.
Oh, it's the tub. Okay. There's a tub that if you fill it, we don't use it very often, but when you fill it, it makes a really loud sound right over there. It's really good that I didn't make my studio so that I was on that side of the room, or else that would be right over my head.
It'd be really loud.
Yeah, and if it ever broke, imagine, dude. Imagine.
Oh, geez. So do you still have people staying at your house that are using that tub?
No, I guess Kim's doing something. I don't know what she might just be cleaning it. I don't know. We did wash the dog in there the other day, so maybe she's cleaning it.
Okay.
My dogs, dude. They're...
Oh, wow. Anna Krakatow found the prior time that Lucy from Oklahoma called. It is the Call Now segment of episode 1759.
Really?
72 minutes into the MP3 file.
I can find this.
Find it. Find it.
I'm gonna find it right this
funny
second.
That it's only like 12 shows ago.
Yeah, I don't understand why I don't remember this. Okay, 7232 into it, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
7232. The Blinkist app. All right, let me find it here. 7232. Wait. That's not a time.
72 minutes, 32 seconds?
Well, it is, but my thing does hours.
Oh, so 1 hour, 12 minutes, 32 seconds.
Yeah. Let me fix it there. Okay, here we go.
You know, the king of trivia. So this, you know, I wonder actually how, if you had the odd numbered questions and I had the even numbered questions, I wonder how we would have done.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I think you still would have won, but I think it would have been a closer margin.
Could have been closer. Also, I have to admit, like, the Spielberg one about...
No, I'm kidding.
I don't know if this is it. Scott Math. Oh, 112.
72.
So it is at
1 hour,
112.
12 minutes.
Okay, right now I'm at 1 hour, 11:59. So let's see what happens if this is correct. The Spielberg one about Always, total softball.
Yes.
Softball.
Oh, I know. And Kevin Kline. Come on.
That was easy.
Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, maybe Dan Aykroyd was a real gimme. Is this just after it?
Who played Grocer in the film?
32 seconds. So 1 hour, 12 minutes, 32 seconds would be my math.
All right, we're at 15 seconds now.
Wait.
17.
Just
a bunch of Dan Aykroyd questions for the evens. That would have been really
right,
funny.
exactly, yes.
All right, I think we have someone on the line. Oh, hi, who's this?
It's Lucy from Oklahoma.
Oh my gosh, it is her!
Oh, it's her!
What the crap? Why don't I remember that? All right, wait, I guess I'll keep playing it. Oh, hello, how are you?
Hello.
I'm fine, thank you very much. I love your podcast.
That's awesome. This sounds like a
This
fake
sounds like
fake
an
voice.
Australian doing an Oklahoman accent.
Yeah, it sounds like a fake accent.
No,
to me.
that one is Gidget.
That is Gidget, right?
Yes.
So it's always been
That is
Gidget.
100% Gidget.
It was her the whole time. She's been denying it the whole show. It's totally her.
Gidget's in the chat room saying it is so not me. That first one was absolutely. I mean, the one right there that we just heard is absolutely Gidget.
Was it you, Gidget? Was that you then? And is someone? She says, "Don't be mean to this girl." We're not. We're trying to get to the bottom of the mystery. Was it you then? She says it wasn't her then.
Really?
Yeah. So you're saying it's her then. She's saying no. I'm going to back it up a tiny bit.
Keep playing.
Yeah. Dan Aykroyd was a real. All right, I backed up a little. Hold on.
I'm fine, thank you very much. I love your podcast.
That's awesome. This sounds like a
This
fake
sounds like
fake
an
voice.
Australian doing an Oklahoman accent.
Yeah, it sounds like a fake accent to me. Is that true?
Well, why would you say that?
don't know, dude. I hate this mystery. This mystery can bite me in the hole. I don't like it. All right.
Yeah.
Now you guys are freaking me out. Because she says it's not her, but it sounds like her. Oh, Gidget. All right. She swears it's not her. So I don't know. The rest of the chat.
All right, so here's the only way to prove it. We need Oklahoma and Gidget to call in at the same time.
All right, well, here's your opportunity. Thursday, top of the show,
Yes.
we're having Gidget on here to do some trivia. Oklahoma, if you're around, call. And if you are a separate person, we owe you a huge apology because we have found you to be very confusing, but we're going to apologize on the air. If it's not you, well then...
Yeah, and I think we're even going to send you a prize package of something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you deserve something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
We should totally do that. So, yeah. Well, maybe Alex, I don't know. I have no idea. There's no way to know if this person has a disability. It's like Brian yesterday when he was saying, who's that girl looking off camera? He didn't know it was an autistic niece. So until you know, you don't know.
Exactly.
So if it is, call Thursday and then we'll know.
Exactly.
Tiptoeing around on eggshells. All right, check this out. Firefighters rescued a woman stuck in a septic tank for days.
I was wondering if you're going to come back to this one. I was okay if you missed it. I was okay if you accidentally just kept on going and didn't come back to this story.
Look, I figured with your slight claustrophobia tendencies, you might enjoy this one.
Oh, I think I'm more afraid of being stuck in a tank of shit. I think that actually supersedes my claustrophobia.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I don't blame you for
I
feeling
think
that way.
Secondarily would be claustrophobia. Primarily would be swimming in feces.
Well, let's see how this went. Firefighters in Escondida. Where's that?
Estacada is...
Or Estacada? What did I say? Escondida?
I don't know where Estacada is, but probably California, because that sounds like...
It sounds very California.
Estacada is in Oregon.
Oh, it's Oregon. Okay.
Just north of, 30 miles southeast of Portland.
Well, these guys rescued this woman who they said was trapped in a septic tank possibly for 2 or 3 days. They said she had been flown to the hospital. Since then, rescuers found her lying in raw sewage with her face just above the tank outside her rural home, which is about 5 miles northeast of Estacada. Officials said she lives there alone. Quote, it can definitely be a scary situation, especially sitting at the bottom of a septic tank and you don't know that anybody's coming to get you, says Nick Wetlaufer, an engineer / paramedic. Many homes in rural areas have underground septic tanks as a kind of private sewer to process and treat their waste. Nobody would have heard. My wife grew up with one of these. They had a big, huge septic tank where she grew up. There was no public works for that stuff. Anyway, no one would have heard her up here, says Richard Anderson, division of the Rural Fire Department, which responded to the incident. The next closest house was a couple of 1,000 feet away. Even her daughter hadn't heard, but she came by and found out where she was at. She got concerned and went up to check on her, found her inside the septic tank. It looks like there was a lot of work being done on the septic tank. There was a tractor in the area, and a hole had been dug, exposing the tank. She had fallen through about a 2-foot by 2-foot hole in a kind of rusted metal top thing of the tank there, and then got stuck. That is horrendous.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh my gosh, just imagine it.
Do you hear screams coming out of the toilet? Oh, hold on. Yeah, I think I do. I hear somebody yelling, but they sound like they're in the toilet. How's that possible?
I mean, just imagine what that was feeling like for her. That's awful.
I don't want to. Thank you.
No. Remember that scene in Schindler's List? The little kids had to go hide in there? That still gets me, man.
I think the bigger scene is people talking about Shawshank Redemption.
They're climbing through the pipe and coming out clean on the other side. Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, that's no good. That's just oh, man. I mean, I wonder at some point, if it was days.
That was the last time I saw Estacada.
But listen, if it was like a few hours, that's horrible on its own. Days? Multiple days?
Yep. Nope. Thanks. Sorry. Bye. Yeah. No.
How do you survive? I
don't know, right? Because you're breathing that, and it's jeez.
I can't imagine it. I mean, I can't imagine it. That's the problem. I'm imagining it now. All right.
Okay.
Why did I skip past that? and do that second? That was weird.
Because we were so excited about the space crime.
I guess so. I don't know what happened there. All right, how about this one? This is pretty good. So here's a story about your dog. Everyone's dog. Research shows dogs prefer reggae music over any other kind.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Of course. Have you ever played reggae for one of the dogs and seen what their reaction would be?
I've never played any kind of music for the dogs.
Okay.
Or for the dog. I mean, I've never said, I'm playing this just for you to gauge your reaction. But I've played reggae around the dogs, and I don't seem to remember any sort of different actions by the dog during that.
You don't remember them reacting any differently if you played Red Wine versus, I don't know.
No, exactly. Else? I shot the sheriff, or the Peter Tosh version instead of the Eric Clapton version or the Bob Marley version.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, the Scottish SPCA and the University of Glasgow recently released a study that shows dogs have a music preference. Various music was played for dogs at a roaming center in Dumbarton. Rehoming, not roaming. Rehoming. What's a
rehoming? Rehoming. I don't know.
Oh, dogs at a
rehoming like they're finding new homes. It's a Dumb Friends League. It's a
like if we had like when I go down to the shelter and adopt a dog, it's like that kind of.
That's a rehoming center. By the way, I wonder how dogs feel about the Baja men.
They hate them. They hate them terribly. Immediate hate, bare their teeth, growl, attack, all that stuff.
Not fans of the Baja men.
No. Just like people, we do the same. We have the same reaction.
That's right.
Anyway, they assessed their psychological and behavioral changes. Professor Neil Evans said the most productive or positive behavior changes were seen when the dogs were played reggae and soft rock. That was the other one they mentioned.
So dogs like Bob Marley and Ambrosia.
Yeah.
Firefall.
Yeah. Or freaking Air Supply.
Oz Skaggs.
Yeah.
Air Supply.
Air Supply. I freaking hate Air Supply, dude. So bad.
Oh, really?
Dude, they're not
but they
good.
make love out of nothing at all.
Yeah, I know. But they're not good and they never were. We have to at least admit it.
Every woman in the world to me.
But I mean, we have to admit that they suck, right? We have to. It's not.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd admit that they suck. I think there's a very specific. I don't know if there's a specific time and a place for Air Supply. I think that time and place is 1982 couple skate, but at Skate City. But come on, Air Supply. They're,
they have a Utah connection. I want to say they.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they're from Australia, but I think
they're Aussie. Yeah.
There's some connection. I got to remember this. There was something at a college. What was it? Let's see. I'm just going to see if I can find this here. Because there was some... Everybody used to revel in this back in the day. Here it is.
All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. One of them lives in Park City now. That's what it is.
Really?
In 2010, Air Supply released Mumbo Jumbo, the duo's first recording in 8 years. It was recorded at Graham Russell's home in Park City, Utah, at the Odds On Records thing that they had there. Then they went on to do some stuff in Vegas. But yeah, they live there. Also, Post Malone. You know Post Malone, right? With all the tattoos.
I do know. Well, not personally, but I'm familiar with him, yes.
The Bud Light and the tattoos and the whatnot.
Yeah.
We're big fans here at the house. We like Post Malone. He's great. I think he's...
like that Sunflower song a lot. Yeah.
Super unique voice out there. I think there's nobody quite like him. Mm-hmm. And so I really enjoy it. He has this song about Utah snow, and he's got some other lyrics. You're like, what's his Utah business? He now owns the biggest, most palatial, freaking giant house out in Park City. It is this insane thing. I don't know. I mean, he must like it here, or maybe he just has a house in every state. I don't know, but you should see this thing. It is ridiculous. My gosh, he has a lot of money now. Holy crap!
I like that you're wearing a Park City sweatshirt right now.
I am, yeah.
As a matter of fact.
Totally am. Yeah, we love Park City around here. It's a great little city.
Yeah.
It's too expensive.
Nice. I drive by there when we do the drive to Salt Lake City. We drive by Park City.
Oh, that's right. You guys kind of loop around the rear of it. It's faster.
Yes,
I think.
It is.
Looping around the rear is always.
By the way, how do you think they came up with the band name Air Supply? Like, what does it mean, Air Supply?
I think the one guy got mad one day when they couldn't figure out the lyrics to something, and he strangled him, and then he breathed again.
Cutting off your air supply. Yeah. The only time you use the phrase air supply is when somebody suffocates. It's like
it's a good point. Now that you think, now that you say it, I don't know where
cut
you
off,
come up with
he
that.
cut off his air supply.
I wonder if it's just like there's the air supply. I don't know where. It is a weird origin. I totally agree.
I moved to Utah for the air supply.
Luke Skywalker says Post Malone is a regular guy and deserves all the success he's getting. Yeah, I think so too. Seems to have worked hard and got lots of stuff. We're not criticizing him, not at all.
Not at all.
I'd love to go inside that house. I'd love to see what's in there. But yeah, he's good. I really like that. What's the one where he's popping pillies? I can't remember the name of the song. Rockstar, I think that's it. Something about that song gets me. I love it. It's really good.
Huh.
Anyway, so dogs like it. They like it better. They were played 5 different kinds of songs: soft rock, Motown, pop, reggae, and classical. The winner was reggae. Runner-up was soft rock. They said they spent significantly more time lying and significantly less time standing when music was played, regardless of the genre. My dogs hear a lot of. They hear a lot of what's the banjo guys? I can't think of their names.
Bluegrass?
No, shit. They're popular. They're kind of alternative. I don't know what they are.
Mumford and Sons.
Mumford and Sons. My dogs love Mumford and Sons. You play Mumford and Sons, they all chill out. All of them. Just
really.
They just
hey, Mumford is a great dog name too. Like
you
should name your next dog Mumford.
I'm gonna do it. Oh, we can't have another one.
Mumford.
Kim would kill us.
Come eat your food, Mumford.
A third dog would mean divorce. My wife would be so mad. There's no way she'd do it.
Well, just hide all the pillows.
These dogs drive her crazy. She's better with Boomer because Boomer's super chill, but Rainer's disposition of being spazzy most of the time just drives her crazy. But I love her.
And when they bring Izzy over, all bets are off.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you. Izzy now lives somewhere else and has a pit bull
farm
sibling.
Upstate?
No. Well, sort of. It is a place with a ton of land. But they had to do it. She was so jealous of the baby that she was tearing the carpet up and doing all kinds of weird attention getting stuff.
Acting up, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad. So they were like, we got to find her a good home. They found her a good home though. She's very happy there. So it was a little sad. We were all sad because we liked that dog, but she was not sent to the pound. Taylor wouldn't do that, but she was like,
yeah, no, of course.
She hunted around. She found some people that have to interview you and spend a week with the dog first, and it was super picky.
Wow.
and they totally did. And she's super sweet. She's the sweetest dog. She just needs attention constantly in this place.
Yeah, and she's bigger than she realizes, or
oh yeah,
bulky or whatever is
big time. But they want to get another dog, a smaller one, and eventually, and not right now. So we'll see how that goes. That's it for the news today. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I believe we'll have Bill here to talk about the world of making things. And after that, jury duty. No idea what's on the docket there. But we'll poke that bear when we get it. Before that, though, Brian's got music. He always does, and he's going to explain what it is right now.
I do. Darren Jellison is an architect by day and a singer-songwriter by night. I love this. And he strives for being engaged in both things. He is from Hampton, Maine, and definitely influenced by Ben Folds, Genesis. Definitely hearing in this song. His brand new release, I guess it's a collection called Singles. You can find him online. Just do a search for Darren Jellison. Here's the song Play from Darren Jellison's Singles.
All right. We'll be back in a moment. Will we? Yes. Stay tuned.
Offices are relatively safe places in which to work. But accidents can and do happen.
So long. We'll be seeing you for safer and more pleasant driving.
Money is honey. This is the Morning Stream.
We're back, everybody. Welcome back to the program. Hope you enjoyed that. If you're on the live stream, you're not enjoying that, but at home you did. And that's good, because we love you at home as well. We're going to pull Bill into the call and see what he's got going this week. This shan't take but a moment. And now this.
What's he making?
I wonder what he's making.
But Bill just isn't thinking about danger.
Well, he's not thinking about danger. He's thinking about making things. Welcome to the program, all the way from Seattle, Washington. One Bill Duran. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Punish Prop's own. How are you?
Doing okay. I clicked voice instead of video, so you're not going to see me.
Hey,
Sorry.
it's all good, dude.
Oh, okay. Are you naked?
Naked Tuesday.
I could be.
Got those.
No robe today, ladies and gentlemen.
Wieners out.
No, all you're missing is me guzzling my green milk.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how
Really
is
hooked on that green milk, aren't you?
You like
Fresh
that stuff?
squeezed.
Mm-hmm. Right out of the teat of a whatever. Do we know what those things are called? We don't know what those are called.
Probably. It's probably on Wikipedia.com, and I'm not joking. That's a Star Wars wiki.
Yeah,
Oh no, definitely. It's very.
I go there all the time. I wonder though. I didn't realize they had. I assumed they had a name, but I never really bothered to check. But we all, it's easy to pull names like Tauntaun out of our heads and not even think about it.
Right.
But I don't know what those milky, nasty, freaking Luke sucker things are. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Somebody find out for us, will you? All right. Hey, it's good to have you on as always. It's been a week, but I'm sure that means you've been a busy bee in your shop and whatnot. Tell us what's going on this week.
I sure have been. So I'm very nearly done with a costume for Dragon Con, which is great because I fly out on Thursday at 4 in the morning.
I was gonna say, Dragon Con is a couple days away, so I hope you're. Wow.
Yeah.
So the difference with this costume, though, is that it is an original design. It's not a known character.
Okay.
So most of what I've done with my prop and costume work has been a replica or a reproduction of some kind. I want to be Commander Shepard. I want to be the Dovahkiin. But this one is just some space armor that I designed. Actually, I worked with our assistant Paige because she's a much better illustrator than I am. So I fed her ideas, and we looked up some inspiration on like Google image search and Pinterest and some other places, and she knocked out a really cool concept art, and then I'm building it, which I think is pretty fun.
Well, that does sound fun. Do you have pictures of it anywhere? I'm trying to see if there's anywhere I can look at it.
I don't think we've posted much about it yet, but there will be a video tomorrow. Yes, that's the plan.
Right.
Is it? Do you find it harder to create something that's not based on an existing property that you can use as reference than it is to create something original?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess is it harder to create something that's not based on existing property versus creating something that is? I guess is what
So if you're trying to build a thing that's going to fit on your body, it actually gives you a little bit of leeway because, if I'm making like my Mass Effect armor, perfect example, there are things about that I had to modify so that it would fit on a real human body, right?
Sure.
And make it still look like the thing from the game. The shoulders in particular just clip through his chest. My shoulders can't do that. So I had to fudge the look of it a bit. With an original design, you can do that, and the only person that'll know that you changed it is you.
Sure.
So you can modify the design around the functionality of the costume.
Yeah.
Which helps. But as far as making a design that looks cool, that I find extremely challenging. That's not something I'm very good at because I don't have a lot of practice coming up with things all on my own.
I do this too. So as a quick side note, I was just going through this myself. I was trying to draw. I ended up doing it, and it's up on the site now. But I was trying to create a kind of robot-looking mech dude, and I wanted him to. I think I sent it to you, and I was talking about how I kind of ended up with a little bit of a Destiny vibe with it. Wasn't really aiming for that, but
yeah,
that's how it ended up looking. But I really struggled early on with that because I rely on my imagination for much of what I do when I'm creating drawings and things. But I don't always know what I know what I kind of want, but I don't know how to achieve like the cool factor without reference.
Yeah.
Right. I have to reference somebody else, or I have to go and say, well, what's a cool, like, what did Iron Man look like in 08? Maybe that's a good place to start or whatever. And that's okay. It turns out that's okay. You can't have every solution in your own head.
Right.
So for whatever that's worth to people listening.
So what we ended up doing is looking up a lot of inspiration, picking parts of things that we really liked, and then putting our own little twist on it.
Right.
And I think that we were mostly successful. Obviously, it's something I would need a lot of more practice in. I would say if that's like if anyone at home is a creative person of any kind, if you're a musician or if you are an illustrator or a painter or sculptor or whatever, I think most people get started by just copying work that they like.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I was growing up and I was way into drawing, I would draw Garfield and Spider-Man and comics and things that I like. That's how I learned the technical skills. And I think that's really great, especially obviously in my hobby where everyone's replicating everything. That's such a fantastic way to get started. And if you're a hobbyist, then and that's all you want to do is make copies of Spider-Man, then cool, like go for it. That's a fun way to express yourself creatively. If you're definitely the case with cosplay, obviously people want to dress up like their Skyrim character,
right?
When you're if you're trying to turn that into a career, I would say that it may be more difficult to impress people with something that you design. But if you do impress people with something that you designed, it's all yours. You get to take all the credit. You don't have to pay license fees for replicating Mickey Mouse's head. Like, I think there's a huge benefit there, especially if you're going into it as a career.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are you confident now that when you strut out of the elevator
into that stinky, sweaty cesspool known as Dragon Con?
Yeah. Are you gonna feel good about what you've done?
Oh, I do like how it turned out, but I don't know how people are gonna react.
Mm-hmm.
It does have lights on it, so maybe people will be like, the lights are so bright. That's amazing.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think you'll do fine.
The other thing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Something else fun that you can do is if you're kind of dipping your toe into creating original work, take something you like and put your own twist on it, put your own spin on it. So this is kind of like what I did with my Blade Runner gun. I took the original Blade Runner gun design and I sort of tweaked it. I made it my own.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave me a little bit of practice coming up with design elements on my own. But then also, I got a little bit of that name recognition from Blade Runner, and it still reads as a thing from that universe, which was kind of cool.
Well, that would be my.
So
go ahead, Brian.
Right?
Yeah.
Is figuring out like how to make it similar enough to where people say, "Oh, that's a Blade Runner gun," but it's slightly different, rather than I don't recognize what that is, but it's cool. Like there's a line that you have to figure out where that line is.
Yeah, that's what I get from people at Dragon Con who you can tell aren't there for Dragon Con. Usually like an elderly couple wandering through the Marriott and they see your costume and they go, I don't know what that is, but it's pretty neat.
Right.
Well,
that's still me.
Yeah.
That's still me at Dragon Con.
Yep.
But people, if they saw your gun, would they notice what your spin is? Or would you be the only one that would know what you did to make it your own? You know what I mean?
Blade Runner enthusiasts would notice.
Okay.
But lay people probably would not. They might be like, "Oh, is that the one from the Harrison Ford, right? Yeah, the robot people."
From the robot people. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me want to watch the new one again. I love that movie so much. All right, well, this sounds great. You're going to, of course, there'll be plenty of imagery of you at the con wearing this stuff, so we'll get to all see all this.
Yes.
You guys. Don't you?
And I will be at the con this weekend if anyone's going to be around. We're having a meetup on Friday. The Prop Tarts Facebook page has all the info. So
Essential Tremor on the chat. Essential Tremor in the chat had a great question that we absolutely have time for. He says somebody on Discord was asking cosplayers for recommendations on where to get costume supplies. Do you have like, I don't know, one or two or three go-tos that you're just like, yep, these places are always where you need to go?
I know one of them is Joanne Fabrics.
Right. Yes, definitely. So most of what I get, I order stuff online. Any of our videos, if you watch any of our build videos, in the description is a link to every tool and every material that we use. So if you have a specific one you want some more info on, then you can go check that out on any of our videos. But yeah, Joann's is great. They're local. Joann's and Michael's usually. They're across the street from one another where I live. But Joanne's just got large sheets of EVA foam, the ones we use for making our costumes. Our friend Yaya got, she's been working for years to get that done. It's finally finished. So if you go to, I don't know if they all have them yet, but if you go to Joanne's, they have a cosplay section now with cosplay fabrics and foam. And a bunch more other tools and materials and glue and paints and everything there. So that's a pretty good one-stop shop.
Okay.
Otherwise, Amazon, and check the links in all my videos.
Yeah. You ever use what's Alibaba? You ever go there for anything?
Yeah, we're actually looking into ordering our own branded tools that we could sell on our website. So we've been poking around there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you just got to order like 3,000 of them. So I'm about to be the proud owner of 3,000 brand new Punish Props branded knives.
Oh my lord!
Now, why can't you just make a mold and then create resin tools? I guess you couldn't do that with knives. But...
it would be so much more expensive than to order a bunch of. And I can't
just brand it.
It's nuts how much cheaper it is to get. Again, you got to order 3,000 of them, but if you think you can move them, or if you just need a lot of knives.
Yeah. Well, there you go. This all sounds great. As usual, do you have a little something to leave us with? A little bonus this week?
I sure do. I got a link in the chat there. Our friends over at Kamui Cosplay put up a video on airbrush basics. It's the sort of thing that it's always good to polish up on. And if you're thinking about doing anything with paint and you want to do something fun and cool and creative, an airbrush will extend the utility of your painting skills. So I recommend checking that out.
Yep.
Very cool.
Got my first one when I was 15. That thing was great.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. I didn't get mine until college, and we had a class where we needed one. So bought a compressor, bought an airbrush, bought the hose, all that stuff. We had hookups in the studio where everybody was basically on the same air, and so you just basically brought your hose and plugged into the same air that everybody else was using.
Oh, was it a big compressor, like a big multi-connected compressor? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, like 20 people all feeding off the same.
That's awesome.
Air supply.
Nice. I had the little portable one, like the kind they're showing in this video is definitely the one I had. It's funny though, because I'd moved on, my focus was always 2D art. So once the digital world provided all the things that airbrushing would bring, like granularity and gradation and all that sort of thing, I just never needed it again. It was like, well, that's not useful. But obviously in a 3D sort of creation world, this is probably invaluable. Like you absolutely need this thing.
I was gonna say, try and paint your space gun with Photoshop, Scott.
Yeah,
can't happen.
It can't happen. It actually, literally, doesn't work.
They did put basically Photoshop in the new Rebel Galaxy game, and you can just draw on your spaceship.
No, yeah, they did. It's pretty cool. I've seen people make some pretty crazy designs. Are you gonna mess with that at all? I know you like the game.
Maybe I need like a tablet to draw on it.
Yeah, that would be the best.
I can't do it with a mouse.
That's what I hope. They put out some utility, just let you. I mean, I suppose you could hook up a Wacom to your PC and do it that way, but
yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, but something like that just seems super, super rad. That thing's really cool.
All I did, I just put googly eyes on my spaceship and called it a day.
It's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to start with. Builderan, everybody, punishprops.com, and of course, if you're going to Dragon Con, look for him in the cool space armor as he gallantly traipses himself all over those hotels. And blows your mind with his prowess.
Can't wait to see photo and video of you guys in how this thing looks.
Yeah, take lots of pictures, man.
We sure will.
Bill Duran, Chin Beard, Punish Props. Talk to you later. Bye now.
Bye.
All right.
Cool.
Well, Brian, we've done that. Now we can do this. Justin shows us sleep, but that doesn't mean anything. He's probably there. I don't know. If he's not, what are you going to do? It's fine. Oh, I see him coming online. Oh,
he's awake.
He is awake. Here's this.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Justin Robert Young in a foreign space. It looks like a hotel of some sort or a house. Or what are you in? Where are you?
I'm actually at the Brian Brushwood compound.
Oh, right.
Cool. You're in Austin.
Yeah, that's right.
I am.
tonight is the big live deal, right? Tonight?
Indeed. Wait, are you getting actual moving video? Because it's not showing my video.
Yes, you are moving
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time too, where like I'm kind of frozen on my view of Discord, but
everybody else is good. Yeah, it's funky.
Cool.
Yeah, so you're here. You got quite a day ahead of you. Then you got a lot of stuff to do tonight.
Like quite a week, because you guys go from there to right to Dragon Con, right?
Yeah, that's it. This
Yeah.
is the end of the grand finale of Con Month.
Yeah.
4 cons in 1 month. Gen Con, DEF Con, Out of Bounds Comedy Festival, which is where we'll be tonight. So if you're in Austin, come on out. $10, 2 comics, and Night Attack. We're headlining, so we're doing a full hour show. Tom Merritt's flying in for it, so it's going to be a blast. And then the big crescendo at Dragon Con in Atlanta.
Nice.
And I got a live show there. I got a show 7 p.m. in the Crystal Ballroom. There's like an improv thing that I'm a part of, and then my own show Saturday 2:30. But go to my Twitter for all the deets.
Yeah, all those sweet deets. So busy couple weeks in politics. I don't know if we want to go anywhere near any of this, but we could, I suppose.
Sure.
What do you think? I mean, I feel like it's so rapid fire these days. Like everything from on the running for president side, you got why are Elizabeth Warren's crowd so huge, but her poll numbers are lower than Biden's or whatever, but her crowds are bigger, and then on the other side you got
tomorrow's the big cutoff too. Like the Democrats, it's basically fish or cut bait.
Well, so here's the deal. For the next debate in Houston, the DNC has set tomorrow as the deadline that everybody who's going to qualify for that debate needs to have hit by tomorrow 130,000 individual donors and 4 qualifying polls, which has become a bit of a controversial thing now, where they hit 2% or more. Right now, we have 10 people that are qualified. That means that one debate stage is filled to capacity. If one more person qualifies, then they will have to do 2 nights again. The only difference here is that the first debate's definitely happening on Thursday, which means the second debate would happen on Friday, which is, as anybody who has watched a television show and had a show move to Friday knows, not a good sign.
No,
Nobody
you would not want to be on the
television.
second night. Yeah.
You don't. And that would be randomly decided. There would be some angry candidates at the fact that they would have to, that 5 of them would have to go on Friday night. But really, the thing to watch if you want to be a total nerd about it is go to the Wikipedia for 2020 debates. And there's a great little ledger of all the qualifying polls. You're basically looking for a poll, the guy that comes out today or tomorrow, where Tom Steyer gets 2% of the vote. One came out yesterday that was qualified that he got 0, but he has qualified for 3 of them. If he gets 1 more, he's in.
Wow. That's higher. That's, for some reason, higher for Steyer than I thought it would be. Pretty good.
And you might know Tom Steyer as the guy who appears in the commercial ad of every ad break on Hulu or YouTube that's letting you know that Donald Trump is a fraud and a failure.
Oh, I never see those. I guess I need to do the commercial version of Hulu or something because I never see that.
It's almost a bummer that they don't fill the first stage, so it's going to be 10 no matter what, and then any outliers. If there's 11, then that guy basically just gets to be up there by himself, or
Yeah,
man
you
or
just
woman.
get to do
11.
Just
basically.
It's like, I'm going to abdicate my time to Dave Chappelle.
Oh, that'd be all right. I'd take that.
Obviously, they're going to split at 5 and 6 or something.
So, what's your take on Bill Mitchell and his primary challenge to Trump? Do you think there's anything to it? I mean, a lot of people don't like him any more than they like Trump. Not Bill Mitchell, sorry. Joe Walsh. Sorry, Joe Walsh. I always mix Bill Mitchell and Joe Walsh.
Where the hell did you get Bill Mitchell from?
Two white. Well, you know who Bill Mitchell is. He's a dude and all politic.
Is he?
Oh, he's
I bet you there's a lot of dudes named Bill Mitchell.
Yeah,
there's a lot of. I mean, it's a fairly Bill Mitchell.
Yeah, Bill Mitchell's like a super Trumpy talk show host. He's white and looks just like those two. Look the same. Joe Walsh and Bill Mitchell are the same looking dudes to me.
I'm googling Bill Mitchell now.
Yeah, look him up. But anyway, while you're doing that, Joe Walsh.
Oh yeah, I've seen his avatar before.
Yeah, you. I hate him. But anyway, the point is, there's a primary challenge being welcomed by a lot of never Trumpers and some conservative middle of the roaders who never liked Trump, and then a lot of people are just like, well, anything's better than Trump, and then there's a lot of people saying, no, this is a lateral move, and so who cares? But as a primary challenger, we're not talking about an independent vote that would split votes or create all that kind of weirdness. Do you think there's anything to this? Do you think it goes anywhere? Is that how does one primary challenge anyway when the incumbent is of your same party? I don't even know how that works.
I mean, it doesn't, which is why you don't know. Like, it doesn't happen. Traditionally, the only way that the party would bless a primary challenge, which the party will not bless this and will make it almost functionally impossible to run a primary in the way that the Democrats are running a primary now, is when the president is very unpopular within his own party. So understand that he's very unpopular across the aisle. He's very unpopular with independents of certain demographics. But inside of his own party, he's like better than Reagan. Like, people inside the GOP love him. Like, there is obviously an element of the Never Trump kind of movement that started back in the primaries 4 years ago and certainly has persisted since then. But look, let's be real here. The only primary that Joe Walsh is running in is the primary for retweet.
So, okay.
And guess what? The returns are in, and he's winning.
Yeah. So, but we don't have any historical. Is there any historical precedence for somebody running as a primary challenger against the incumbent to then try to
I'm sure there has been. Sure. I'm sure somebody primaried Obama. I'm sure somebody tried to primary literally every sitting president. The difference is we don't really talk about them. Donald Trump just operates in such a elevated space in everybody's psyche that and Twitter kind of elevates this, obviously, that now we're gonna pretend like this is a thing. It's not a thing. And to be honest, if it were a thing and he were actually in an open primary against Joe Walsh, I think it would probably be better for Trump, because it would remind everybody in his base why they liked him to begin with. Somebody that likes yelling at other Republicans on stage. Like, that was his first single. Right, that was his.
That put him on the charts. Yeah,
that was his Post Malone's "Better Now" to keep the thread going from earlier in the show.
Wow, you do listen.
Yeah, he does listen once in a while. I like it. That's good.
That's he was pantsing Jeb Bush, the guy who was supposed to cruise to the nomination. Like, that's what made people kind of, or some elements of the Republican Party, fall in love with him. So if he was, just beheading Joe Walsh on live television, I think it would probably be better for Trump and his base. I think it would take oxygen away from some of the Democratic candidates that desperately need it. Bernie and Elizabeth Warren are not going to win a general election unless the country becomes more okay with some of the fairly aggressive programs that they want to put in. Like, they are running on the idea of Medicare for all, which on some level, not some level, on all levels, abolishes private health insurance. It just takes away an entire industry. That, whether or not you think that that's correct, right? That is a large change. You need time for America to kind of get used to it. If you're Mayor Pete, you need people to understand who you are, to fall in love with you, to believe that a millennial gay president is what we need in 2020. If the entire time we're talking about whether or not it was appropriate that Donald Trump called Joe Walsh a cuck on live television, then you're not going to get that.
Yeah, that's true. He also, the thing I don't like about Joe Walsh is, he's now claiming, well, I'm penitent about the terrible things I've said in the past. I apologize for them. I was wrong to say these things. He was fully onto the birther movement. He's got multiple, back to Twitter, multiple tweets saying things like Obama's a Muslim, and in the pejorative sense, which is, I think, the only way anyone ever says that anyway. But then he also had a tweet that said, if Trump, it was on the election night, says, if Trump doesn't win tomorrow,
No, it was on election day. I'm voting for Donald Trump. The day after election day, I'm loading my musket.
Yeah, but that was something if she didn't win, or no, if she won, he's loading his musket or something like that. Because it was
it was an insinuation that Hillary Clinton was going to steal the election and they're going to go in an armed revolt. Things I'm not going to do this morning. Defend Joe Walsh's Twitter. So. You can miss me with that. I don't care. Whatever. He's never seemed to me like somebody that is I've really taken very seriously. But look, people run for president. I mean, like we think like, oh my God, so many Democrats are running for president. These are people that are on the national media's radar. Hundreds of people run for president every year, and probably a dozen petition to primary a sitting president. It's the fact that we're covering it now, and that's it is what it is because the Trump show rolls on. If you want him defeated, I would say that spending less time on Joe Walsh and more time on the candidates that you care about would probably be the better way to go.
Yeah, probably. Well, I don't know. We'll see if that turns into anything other than just smoke. Do you think Axios stands behind? This is the final thing I want to talk about. Axios stands behind it 100%. They're reporting.
Yeah.
Do you think that Trump is lying, or who cares if you think he's lying? He always lies. Do you think he really considered the idea of nuking hurricanes recently? Because this is something that like in the past has been studied. It's not like it's the worst idea to go, I wonder if we disrupted it with some kind of explosion, what would that do? Well, that's bad because all the fallout and this and the other. I understand that. There's a process to that. But according to this article, he's like constantly hounding people about bombing hurricanes. So, do you think that's just all a bunch of hullabaloo, or I feel like I already know the answer?
Here's what I think. And Axios has kind of made a cottage industry out of stories like this. If you remember, there was a story a couple months ago about Trump wanting to nationalize the 5G network, or that people within the White House wanted to nationalize the 5G backbone, because at that point, this is before we did the ban on Huawei. Right. There was like just this fear that the telecoms would not be able to resist themselves and just buy cheaper Chinese hardware that intelligence agencies were afraid had backdoors to them, and that we would be effectively giving China access to our entire data network. But the story was Trump wants to nationalize 5G, which is like a crazy headline because it's a Republican president looking to nationalize something. Normally, it's always in the opposite direction. You are de-nationalizing something. Yeah. You're privatizing something. I believe that in the White House, there's a lot of things, a lot of time, just in general, right? Generic president. A lot of the president's day is spent, hey, what about this? Look into this.
Spitballing
Get
kind
back
of thing.
to me.
Yeah.
Get back to me on this. Go look. Prepare a thing, come back to me, tell me what you find about this, right? Generic president. And I'm only basing that on, like, The West Wing, like, because that's 90% of that show.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, let's assume that that's true, and then let's X that by the Trump of it all, and let's say that the ideas get a little bit more outside of the norm of political reality, and we get a little bit more, according to, I forget what it was, but like one of the first things that Bill Clinton asked about when he first got into office was like, hey, what's up with Area 51? Like, you're like,
somebody go look into that. Get back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a report on my desk, my friend.
How about
so
that? Yeah. Go ahead.
Imagine it was just that there was 10 times more of that, right? That there's just a lot more like, hey, questions that the regular Joe would ask, as opposed to somebody who has been reading national policy briefings for the past 20 years of their life, like a career politician likely has been. That they've been reading think tank reports and all this kind of stuff. Trump hasn't. Trump's been reading Page 6 and making sure that his name shows up in boldface print. So it's like, that's pretty much what that is.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. All right. Well, I at least had to get the nuke and hurricane. It's literally a plot point of Sharknado, so I couldn't deny it. I could not talk about it because it's a really important thing to do. When Sharknado
I will say
comes
he probably is somebody who's fairly preoccupied with hurricanes because he's got the property in South Florida, and if you're spending a lot of time in South Florida, you wind up thinking a lot about hurricanes. This is about that time. Obviously, the beginning of hurricane season is late late summer, and this is when you really got to worry about it.
Yeah, this is when you start talking about bombing them. All right, excellent work. Remind people again, I guess there's still ways for people to get tickets if you're in the Austin area, right? They want to get in there. What do they do?
Tonight, yeah, you can just walk right up. The Hideout Theater. It's an awesome venue in downtown Austin. Come on out. It is Night Attack. We got some special guests, folks from the Double Toasted podcast. We're going to have, again, Tom Merritt come on in, and there's 2 great comedians that are opening up for us. So this is cheap. It's part of the Out of Bounds Comedy Festival. We've never done a live show that has only cost $10 just by ourselves, and you get a lot more for that. It's going to be pretty cool. And then obviously at Dragon Con, just follow me on Twitter at Justin R. Young, and I'll post me whole schedule.
Ooh, I like the piratey sound of that.
Post me whole schedule.
I'm gonna post my whole schedule. I'm gonna listen to Post Malone.
Post Malone, yar, popping pillies. We'll see you later. All right. I like saying popping pillies, even though I would never pop a pilly.
Popping pillies. I got to find out which Post Malone song that is.
I think it's Rockstar, but I could be wrong.
Rockstar, okay.
Not 100% sure on that. Okay, I have one quick thing to do. Jamie kind of outdid himself.
Oh,
well,
really? Okay.
I don't know if he outdid himself or I just gave him the best material. I don't know. But apparently I have made some of the dumbest noises while playing a game called Observer.
That's saying a lot.
It is saying a lot. It's this
Mark Knopfler's penis.
This is it's a weird cyber future, kind of Blade Runner-y future. In fact, the star of the thing is the late great Rutger Hauer. It's one of the last things he did before he died. It's not a great performance, but the game itself is scary as hell, and he's really captured that. So I guess I'm going to play this. I apologies to everyone who hates hearing me scream, but here's me playing Observer Part 1. He's called this Floor Avocado, and you'll hear why. Here you go.
Okay.
Janus. He called him Janus. Batman! Shitballs. What is that? I'm outside, you piece of shit. Hey, it's the shitter. Open the door, dick. Whoa! What the H was that? Oh, ah! Oh, frick! The hell is that? It's the shitter. Ah! It's locked? Well, shit. Ah! Oh. Oh, la, la. La, 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 la. I'm nervous. Ah! Dead guy there, dude. Oh, Lord. Oh my gosh, that scared me so bad. Don't do that. Oh. What kind of horse shit is that? Don't. Oh, why is this getting me so bad? Holy macaroni, dude. Shit, donkey. I don't want. Oh, right there. Shit. No. I'm in the digital butthole now. The shitter. What's that? My floor avocado? Don't do that. What in the frick? Get your freaking wrist monkey out and do your deal. Have a fantastic day. I don't remember what the floor avocado even was, but
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, there was some noises in there that I've never heard you make in any of these other mashups before. Like,
yeah, this one. In fact, he isolated this one out here. Like, what is that? What even is that?
That was all one noise. That wasn't like several noises all edited together.
No, it was me being surprised by something. I can't explain it. That game really is under my skin. It's something else. And it was just like totally never even heard of it. Came out in 2017. Didn't know about it. Showed up on a sale one day. I'm like, oh, that's like $8. That looks scary for fun. $8. Let's just do that. And it's like one of the scariest things I've ever seen. So, and here's the good news. Because it's so scary, or if you think it's scary and you're watching me play it, or you played it yourselves, it's the same developer doing that new Blair Witch thing that's coming out this year. So I guess the Blair Witch game will be very scary. It seems like.
I didn't realize it was a Blair Witch thing. So wow.
Yeah, they announced it.
First person scary.
I don't know if it's first person or not, but they announced it at E3 this year, and then Was it just E3? I guess it was just E3 this year that they announced it. But anyway, it looks interesting for sure.
I guess now that I've gotten the PSVR hooked up over here for No Man's Sky, and my new battery should be arriving today, so I can fix my PlayStation moves. Because that's the only reason I haven't been doing No Man's Sky in VR is because my moves are dead, and it's not as fun with the DualShock. But I probably could try a little bit of Resident Evil with the PSVR.
And you should stream it. Brian should stream it.
We'll see. We'll see what I can do. I do have a stream thing that I can use. That Elgato deal.
Elgato thing, yeah, I have one of those as well.
Yeah.
I played that all the way through. Not on VR, but I streamed it, and it scared the shit out of me. I can't even imagine. I just no way I'd ever play in VR. For me, never. No way. Not a chance. I still have the disc, the PS4 disc. If you don't have that game,
I have the disc. Yeah,
you do. Okay. I was gonna say I could send it to you if you want it. All right. That's it for today. Thank you all for being here. We got stuff going on tomorrow. It'll be Wednesday. I think Tom's here. Not actually totally sure when he leaves Austin. I don't know. But if he is, great. If not, we'll do some kind of little tech talk of our own. And Nicole and all that. So be back for that. In the meantime, don't forget you can support us at patreon.com/TMS. You can find everything else we do at frogpants.com/TMS. That's it. Oh, I don't know why I'm all burpy. I haven't eaten. I don't eat till 11. I'm on that diet, yo.
Nice. And that's working well?
It's working well. So far, it's just trimming away the fat. And I think what's happening is because I go 16 hours without eating, my body's just eating itself or something.
Right. Right. And that would be the toughest thing for me is that it would screw up my social, because sometimes going out with friends or going out with family, they want to go, oh, no, let's go at 7 p.m. or 8 o'clock p.m. It's like, okay, well, then I've got to adjust my whole when do I start eating schedule. I can't do it.
Yeah.
There's no way I can
or
do
you
that.
can, I mean, like anything, you can have a cheat day or something. It's
Sure. It would be 3/4 cheat days. I already do too many cheat days with the Weight Watchers business.
That's a good point. These people that do
cheat weekends.
These people that do it from, I guess it would be 5 is the cutoff, so they start at 9. They eat at 9. That way they get
5.
breakfast.
Yeah,
I can't
5.
stop eating at 5. I'll die.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be dead. 7 I can do. 5,
Yeah.
Too early. All right. Never too early for a song. So why don't you play one? Do you have an outro song for us today?
I do. So our winner yesterday during Babble Royale was Slucko, Michael Sluck. It says, hello, Weenie in the Butt. My wife, Megan, celebrates her birthday today. We watch TMS together to start our day, and the day doesn't feel the same if we don't. Aw. I want to wish her the happiest of all birthdays. Their song is the Beatles' I Feel Fine. So let's play a very different version of that. This one is by Jamil. It's from the 2013 collection called Beatles Reimagined. Here's Jamil and I Feel Fine.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Money's gone, bitch.
All right. Well done, everyone.